All right, welcome everyone to the live stream on YouTube and on Twitch. This is a different type of live stream. Usually, we only it's been a while since we've done a talk show or a podcast episode or whatever it is on any of the platforms, and usually I have Jason or Aaron join me for this, but I decided to do this solo just because I wanted to get my thoughts out there for this game for tomorrow's NFC Championship game. But before we get into that, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on TikTok. Support our PayPal's. Do all that good stuff. All of our links are in the description, so make sure you guys check that stuff out. So that you guys don't miss any more of these live streams, clips, whatever we do. NFC Championship, we're live streaming that tomorrow. It's looking like because there was some. I was having some discussions with Jason about maybe going to a bar and watching that game. It's leaning towards more. I may end up streaming with my guys tomorrow afternoon. As much as I love to, celebrate with fellow Commanders fans, I just don't have the funds to do it at the moment. So it is what it is there. Um, when it comes to So we're gonna live stream tomorrow's game for sure, starting off at 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. If Jason's the one in charge, don't worry. I'll make sure that he's up and about and ready to go because I know that he likes to uh, say, "Oh, I can get ready at 11:58." Nope, not gonna happen. If you're in charge of the stream, boy, you're showing up 10 minutes early. That's how we roll. But if not, I'll be here. I'll be starting the stream, no problem. But that's not it. We are also streaming the AFC Championship game. Bills Chiefs. Can Josh Allen finally get over the Patrick Mahomes hump? We'll find that out tomorrow as well. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow me on or subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. Haven't decided which games I'm going to do on Twitch. Which game I'm going to do on Twitch. If I'm doing the Commanders thing, then I will do the Commanders game on Twitch, and we will do the Chiefs Bills game on Jason's Twitter. So make sure you stay posted. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the game. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to this game, I did not think Washington would be in this position. Jason may have said, "Oh, Dan Quinn, get ready for 12-5, get ready for playoff wins." Again, I said not this year. I think at best, 12-5. No, not even 12-5. I said at best 9-8, 10-7. Washington has not had an 11-win season since, and this was before this season, since the 1991 season. So I was like, I don't think so. Then when the playoffs rolled around, I was like, okay, maybe they give the Buccaneers a run for their money, but I do think that that's it, and that's going to cement them as frauds. Janie Daniel is a fraud, but lo and behold, they beat the Buccaneers and get their first playoff win in 20 years. Ironically, the last team that they beat, uh, in a playoff game was the Buccaneers themselves. So, then it was the Detroit Lions, and everyone, me, Aaron, Jason, all said that the Lions were gonna smack the Commanders to no tomorrow. We all picked the Lions to score 45 points, and it didn't happen. Boy, we were wrong. Washington were the ones that scored 45 points. But yeah. When it comes to so here we are to the one day away. Now, let's talk about, and again, I like to interact with you all, so you all let me know your thoughts when it comes to tomorrow's game, because I would like to read your thoughts, read your comments, let me know. Right in the chat. So let's look at what tomorrow really means. Again, Washington hasn't been to the NFC Championship in 33, 34 years. And they were the Washington Redskins by then. Oh, oops, I can't say that word no more. But hey, it is what it is. Um, but it is. We'll see how this goes. They haven't been to a championship game since the '91 season, since they beat the Buffalo Bills, really. And tomorrow against the Eagles, boy, would it be sweet if they were to knock out a division rival from Super Bowl aspirations. And I'm gonna talk about Saquon Barkley and Jahan Dotson and all these guys. What Washington needs to do for tomorrow's game. Let me see here. All right. So let's run through some information here. Let's hit the news button here. All right, let's go to the injury report real quick. Let's do the injury report. All right. All right. So Sam Cosmi, obviously, and I'll address this and what Washington is gonna do come tomorrow. So Sam Cosmi knee injury, suffered a torn ACL, which it's a huge blow. I mean, we saw the injury and Jason and I were kind of freaking out, but man, Washington and like I said, stay tuned on my channel because I'll bring out the latest. This could not happen at the worst time. Sam Cosmi having a phenomenal year, having a great season, got paid this past season as well. Basically, was drafted as a right tackle, was used as a right tackle, but then I believe last season, before Ron Rivera's last season, they put him at right guard, and he's been our right guard ever since. And Dan Quinn stepped up and has kept it that way. Now he does have the penalty history. Don't get me wrong, but hey, you know, keeping Jaden Daniels protected, that's going to be that's going to be missed when it comes to big time injuries. Now, it's looking like they're going to go with Trent Scott as a replacement, who he fit in nicely, but he ain't no Sam Cosmi. And I feel like Jalen Carter, because here's the thing, Jalen Carter's going to get back there. I mean, he got back there with Sam Cosmi in the game in the last two games. So if a Trent Scott, who again decent but not proven, um, is going to have a tough time. So Washington got to figure something out, and I'll break that down in the keys to the game. Um, Zach Ertz rib. He's good. He's gonna be. He's not missing this game. I mean, this guy's been in. I remember him with the Philadelphia Eagles. Making big catches in that Super Bowl. Got traded to Arizona. Was on his way out of the league. But Cliff Kingsbury gave him a call. He comes here, gets a 1-year deal. Bada bing, bada boom. History. The rest is history. So he ain't missing this game. And he was just did not practice on Wednesday and full practice or full participant on Thursday, Friday. Cleveland Farrell, he's good. Now, Deron Payne, now this is another blow, but I feel like Washington's defense, especially with the emergence of Jerzon Newton, will be fine when it comes to this. So Jerzon Newton, excuse me, Deron Payne is out with a finger injury, knee injury. He was practicing and he was limited, or he was trying to, he didn't practice, but he was fighting through it. He fought through it during the Lions game, but I guess it wasn't enough. So he's not playing. Again, another huge miss. But like I said, I think it's no biggie. Plug injures on Newton. Um, Whoever the dude is, Carlton Davis or whatever his name is, got to step up and Alexa stop and let John Allen help him out. Again, big miss, but hopefully, if Washington, and this is a huge if they beat Philly, go to the Super Bowl, maybe he'll be ready for the Super Bowl. Bobby Wagner, ankle, did not practice Wednesday, didn't practice Thursday, limited Friday. Questionable, but again, I feel like he's going to be good to go. I feel like he's going to be fine. He's going to be ready to go. He's not missing a big time game like this one. I mean, he was part of that Legion of Boom era with Dan Quinn with Seattle. Hasn't been back there since. I don't think. I think he joined the Rams for about a year. Was that during the Rams Super Bowl year? I can't remember. Write that in the chat. Let me know. Um, let me see. But I don't think so. I think that he went to the Rams and they didn't even make the playoffs that year. But again, correct me if I'm wrong. We'll see how that goes. But I think he's fine. Uh, Devontae Sean Baptiste, shoulder injury, limited. Uh, again, another body. We'll see how it goes. Alameda Zacchaeus. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see. Limited, limited. The last two limited Wednesday, Thursday, but was a full practice Friday. Okay. Gotta get weapons ready. Gotta be weapons ready. So all I'm gonna say about that. John Bates, he's fine. Tyler Biotic, oh man, not another offensive. Let's see. Okay, he's gonna play. He's full. He's a full go. Brandon Coleman had a shoulder injury. He's been full the last games. I think he's fine. He's gonna play. Don't really care about this one. Frankie Louvu. I think he's gonna be fine. He was full Wednesday and limited Thursday and Friday. I think that just preservation at that point. Jeremy McNichols, hand injury, he's fine. Ben Sennett. I think Ben Sennett will be questionable, which is going to be really, really tough to see. We'll see how that goes. Jeff Driscoll is not going to play anyway. Marshawn Lattimore, rest. And he's going to be good to go. Okay, so that's the injury report. Let me check the chat real quick. Nope, no one in the chat. Okay. Again, y'all, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow me on Twitch. Make sure y'all do that and write in the chat. Because again, I don't want to be, I want to interact with y'all. So do that. So let's talk about a little more what Washington needs to do here. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Let's. Okay. So. All right. So here we go. So, um, guys to look out for. And for this game, and I'm gonna break this down offensively and defensively. 5 guys to look out for offensively for the Eagles and Washington's defense going to contain. Number one, Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts, he is wearing a knee brace. He is not himself. He is hurt. Give me 1 second. Let me check Jason. Jason sending a message. Oh, okay. Now let's do five guys, and I'll look at the chat, Jason. Thank you for letting me know. Let's look at five guys, and I usually do this in shorts. But this is the first time that I'm doing this in video format or live stream format. Um, so five offensive guys on the Eagle side that the defense needs to look out for. Number one, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, however, he has not been himself ever since Washington took him down or got him concussed. Frankie Louvu did that nasty hit in the game on week 16, and he missed the Cowboys game, and then he rested or missed the Giants game. Um, he's not been himself, and in this playoffs, I mean, um, if the Packers didn't turn the football over, the Eagles would have been in danger. The Rams, if they didn't fumble that football in the snow, and if they were able to make that final catch, the Rams would have won that game too. So Jalen Hurts is not himself. But you still don't know. A lot of people maybe selling that knee injury a lot. We'll see how this goes. He isn't able to move around from what I heard from different Commanders YouTubers like Ed Oliver, um, Pedro Smith, and others. John Kime also reported that he's not able to move around as much. So, but again, you never know, especially with when you have the next guy on my list, Saquon Barkley, a guy that you need to contain. Um, you just gotta look out for that. Now, speaking of Saquon Barkley, he's the fourth guy on the list. That Washington's defense need to check. Now, we saw week 16 that we cannot stop Saquon Barkley. We could barely contain Saquon Barkley until the second half of the game. Gotta do better. I mean, yeah, and here's the thing. Washington struggled with containing Jahmyr Gibbs. And whoever what's the dude, Jason, if you're still watching, what's the dude's name on the Lions? The other running back? Oh, David Montgomery, that's him. Uh Washington struggled with containing both of them. And this is throughout the game. So you just got to make sure that you contain Saquon Barkley the best you can. I don't want to see Saquon Barkley have 166 yards rushing mid second quarter, because they're going to ride Saquon Barkley if Jalen Hurts can't get his stuff together and can get going, they're going to ride Saquon Barkley the rest of the game out. So, there you go. Next guy to look out for on the offensive side, AJ Brown. AJ Brown, again, not his best statistical year as a Philadelphia Eagle, and especially with Jalen Hurts being, not accurate and not throwing the football and being hurt. But hey, he can still be a threat. Marshawn Lattimore, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit of Marshawn Lattimore here, where Marshawn got hurt, defending AJ Brown, and got a lot of PI calls in that week 16 game against AJ Brown. So Marshawn Lattimore, don't get PI. Don't be Benjamin St. Just. Don't hold Noah Igbenogany or whoever else. Maybe Mikey Singer still. Make sure you guys don't get PIs on AJ Brown. Make sure that you don't get AJ Brown to beat you. So we'll see how that goes. That's another guy. If you guys allow AJ Brown to get cooking, Washington is done. Washington is done. Next guy to look up to or look after, Devontae Smith. and this is why I bring this up. Devontae Smith, week 16, um, dropped a pass that would have, in all honesty, iced that game. But hey, he's sure-handed. He is one of Jalen Hurts' trusted weapons in this game. So, make sure you guys keep Devontae Smith contained. Play the football because, again, he's also one of those guys that can get an easy PI call. So make sure you guys play the ball and not him, and get him frustrated. And also don't let him beat you. And then the last guy on offense, and this is just a you never know. Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson, he has been more of a blocker since joining Philly when Washington traded him away, which Jahan Dotson, for being a crybaby and saying, "Oh, they're not using me in the pass game, they're using me in the return game. Oh, I'm getting more blocking assignments. Aren't you doing that the same thing in Philly? And you're complaining? Really? Okay, whatever. You wanted to go back to Penn State, you wanted to be at Philadelphia, whatever. But you have been a non-factor, honestly. I think the only time that you were relevant was in Week 18, barely. I think. Again, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I do want to address Jason's chat here. Michael Davis, Jason, I don't think is going to go. I think he's going to be inactive. He was inactive last weekend, and he was inactive against Tampa. So, the three guys that are going to be active on game day is Marshawn, Mikey Singler and Noah Igbenogamy, and maybe a little bit of Benjamin St. Just. So, yeah. Um, I'm addressing them right now. So make sure that I don't think that we don't have to worry about Michael Davis. I think we just have to worry about, Marshawn Lattimore, who's been burnt toast. Got burnt in that Tampa Bay game. I think got burnt in that Lions game too. So just got to watch out for him as well. Okay, so now let's talk about defensive players that Washington need to look out for. All right. All right. So then, five defensive players that Washington or Jaden Daniels need to look out for. Number one, Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter has been, a wrecking ball, a wrecking crew, a one-man wrecking crew, able to disrupt anything. Has made Jaden Daniels uncomfortable. So, gotta keep him. Again, and this is where I'm talking about where Trent Scott has earned the trust of Dan Quinn for this game. He's gonna need help. They gotta find a way to double team Jalen Carter. So that way they can get going for this game. Let me see. Who else do we got? Defensively. Oh my god, I'm blanking on dudes' names. That's not good. Nakobe Dean and Quinion Mitchell. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with those two. Quinion Mitchell and Nakobe Dean, or whoever the other cornerback is. I know it's not. I think is it Nakobe Dean. Let me know. So those guys, you just got to know where those guys are at all times. The safety, that got ejected for the for in week 16. Now, Terry McLaurin, whoever else, cook him. Because he be talking spicy. He got frustrated. He got ejected. So make sure you guys frustrate that safety or that cornerback that got ejected in the Eagles game. Because Washington's fortunes changed after he got ejected. He's known as the heart and soul of the Eagles defense. Whatever. Um. So we'll see. Got a Quinion Mitchell. I think was a little banged up last week. I think he's gonna play though, from what I saw or from what I heard from the injury reports. But we'll see how long what the snap count for Quinion Mitchell is, Nakobe Dean, and whoever else is in that cornerback room. Jaden Daniels just got to use his legs. So those are defensive players that basically Washington need to look out for. Jalen Carter is the most pressing because he's known for running past and disrupting the offensive line, and whoever else Philly has in that pass rush can get to Jaden Daniels. So we'll see how this goes. Um, Let me check something. All right, cool. So let's talk about the coaches. What the coaches matchups mean as well. Cliff Kingsbury, as an offensive coordinator, was rumored to be a head coaching candidate, and it's looking like now the Saints may want to talk to him, but right now he can't be talked to because right now Washington's in the playoffs, of course. But the Saints are the only team that are in this coaching hunt right now. But Dan Quinn, Joe Witt, who also got interviews, and Cliff Kingsbury. Now, how do they match up against the goofball known as Nick Sirianni, Vance Joseph? It's Vance Joseph, right? I think it's one of those. It's one of those dudes, and not Vance Joseph, the other guy, and Kellen Moore, who everyone thought was going to go back to Dallas, and it didn't end up happening. Now, here's the thing: Kellen Moore, like I said, Kellen Moore in the Philadelphia Eagles offense, they've learned to use Saquon Barkley, and they've used Saquon Barkley super smart, able to run the football, and that's why I think that the Eagles offense has been successful. Now, Nick Sirianni being a goofball as well, the tush push, the brotherly shove, whatever you like to call it, gotta watch out for that. So gotta stop that as much if you can. Now, Nick Sirianni will make boneheaded calls, will fight randos, will try to fight the refs, will try to get every call in the book, and that could cost him a lot of things. Now, Dan Quinn, first time in the NFC Championship since that 28-3 collapse. So we'll see how this goes. Like I said, I personally like Nick Sirianni, Kellen Moore, and the defensive coordinator. I think it's Vance Joseph. Hold on, let me do a quick search real quick. Google. I think it's Vance Joseph, but I could be wrong. I think it's one of the Vic Fangio. That's his name, Vic Fangio. Never mind, it's not Vance Joseph. I don't know why my went to Vance Joseph. It's Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio And this is a far different defense for the Philadelphia Eagles than it was last year. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. Um, Vic Fangio again. The Eagles defense has been much improved. Able to shut down the run, uh able to shut down the pass to a certain extent. Now, like I said, last game not so much, but we'll see. Um Dan Quinn, now the question is, how many times will he go for it on fourth down? Um how many times will he go for it on fourth down when it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and where are you on the field? Now, we saw last game where he went for it on fourth down and he only had the one miss with, the miscommunication with Brian Robinson, but and that results in, I think, really a Lions touchdown or whatever it was. But after that, they were able to convert on fourth downs. Now the question is also, when do you trust Zane Gonzalez, who missed a 44-yard attempt that could have put the Washington Lions game earlier. Instead, he missed it and gave the Lions a garbage time score. You can't have that happen with the Philadelphia Eagles. You really just can't. Um at all. So um when to go for it on fourth down, Nick Sirianni, the tush push. So those are things to look out for the Washington Commanders. Window, the fourth down conversions, and also trying to see if you can stop the tush push or how many times the tush push becomes a thing. So let's go into keys to the game. And this is how we're going to end this game or end the stream. All right. We're here. NFC Championship. Now, it's a new game. Put everything that you did or put everything out of your mind. It's a new game. It's over. You're starting over. Last week didn't exist. 2 weeks ago didn't exist. Whatever you did in the regular season doesn't exist right in your minds, okay? Now, keys to the game for the Washington Commanders to at least make this a fighting chance and a good opportunity. Number one, try to run the football as best you can. Like I said, the Eagles front seven is no joke. I know it's going to be hard, but you got to try it. Brian Robinson had 75 yards rushing last week and 2 touchdowns. So you got to try to feed him. Feed Jeremy McNichols. Austin Eckler's back, so maybe you can use Austin Eckler, who wasn't even in the game in Week 16, and I think also struggled in the Eagles' first matchup. But you got to feed your running backs. You got to try to get your running backs involved early and as much as possible. Got to take that will away. Number two, offensively, got to throw to Terry McLaurin. Feed Terry McLaurin as well. He's a number one wide receiver. He's your top weapon. Jaden Daniels, use him. Number three, De'Ami Brown, who has emerged as a possible number 2 in the future for Washington, maybe a number 3, but he stepped up when you need to. Gotta get him involved in the screen game. I know that you like to do screens with him. Maybe do a trick play. Now, Olamide Zaccheaus dropped a pass in a game. I think it was during the Tampa game, if memory serves me correctly. So De'Ami Brown is another secret weapon that y'all have, that Washington has. Gotta get him involved. Olamide Zaccheaus, don't drop your passes. Gotta get him involved as well. He was basically Olamide Zaccheaus and Jamison Crowder were the guys that stepped up in Week 16. So My guys to look out for: De'Ami Brown and Olamide Zaccheaus. For this game, Zach, maybe sprinkle in a little bit of Zach Ertz, a little bit of Jamison Crowder if you want. So yeah. Offensive line just got to protect Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, use your legs. Be smart with the football. No fumbles. Especially with the Eagles trying to punch things out. They love to punch the football out a lot. Um, you know, force fumbles. You got to. Brian Robinson. Thank you. I just want Brian. Don't fumble the football. Don't do it. Because 5 turnovers. You played against Kenny Pickett week 16. If you play Jalen Hurts the entire game, and if the Eagles do what they're supposed to do and play Saquon, you're not going to win this game by when you turn over the football 5 times. So don't turn over the football, offense. Don't. Defensively, and I already spoke to or touched up on it, and I'll reiterate it again. Stop or contain Saquon Barkley. Contain Saquon Barkley. Contain the wide receivers. No PI calls. No holding calls. Be disciplined. Be a disciplined defense. Dan Quinn gotta produce pressure. Gotta get back there. Gotta make Jalen Hurts feel the heat because in his dropbacks he got sacked like 8 or 9 times against the Rams. Got hit a lot against the Packers. So, your defense, your secondary, your pass rush can get down there when it comes to when it comes to Jalen Hurts and making Jalen Hurts feel uncomfortable. Got to make that happen. Um, forced turnovers, get the fumbles. If there's a fumble, you better be on top of it. Frankie Louvu, also be careful with your dirty hits. You got away with a few dirty hits in the last few games. Got to be careful, man, because the refs. Don't trust the refs. Oh boy. The refs want the Eagles to win. They want that Eagles Chiefs rematch so bad. So gotta make sure that you get this guy get Jalen Hurts uncomfortable, force turnovers, maybe force Jalen Hurts to make a mistake. I don't think he threw an interception last game. I know he threw an interception or had a few turnovers in the Packers game, but I don't think he had a turnover in the Rams game. So gotta force turnovers. Gotta make sure that you avoid the illegal hits. Don't trust the refs. No PI calls. And I'm looking at you, Marshall Lattimore, Benjamin St-Juste, and Mikey Seymour still, and whoever. So there you go. Jeremy Chin, had a solid game against the Eagles the last in this season. So, expect a heavy dose of Jeremy Chin. Special teams. Jake Elliott is shaky. He can be hot one game, he can be cold the next. He will, because of the snow, he was cold against the Rams, missing 2 extra points. So, and missing, I think he also missed a field goal. So, you gotta get Jake Elliott into long field goal range and hope that he misses it. I feel like Zane Gonzalez has this in the bag. Hopefully, crossing fingers. We'll see how this goes. But special teams, make your kicks, extra points. Don't leave any points out there. Period. And then, of course, like I said, the coaching, got to know when to go for it on 4th down. Got to know how to be smart with the decision making. Don't, when to throw the challenge flag, when to do the reviews. And also, like I said before, just a few moments ago, don't trust the refs. Play within the game, do as much as you can. There you go. But all right. That should do it. Let me make sure that no one wrote in the chat real quick. Okay, nothing. All right. All right. So, I guess we are good to go here. So again, like I said, we'll be back here tomorrow. Make sure you guys hit that like button, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch so that way we can get these live streams going. We'll be live streaming our live reactions, doing halftime quarter recaps. Again, I haven't decided towards going to the bars or yet, but y'all want to meet me up there, let me know. Let me know. But that'll do it for this special live stream. I'm done. I'm out of here. Have a good rest of your evening, guys.